Good morning, Wham! What's up, everybody? How's it going? Well, we're going to learn about the first Europeans who we think came to America. And it's not Christopher Columbus. 500 years before that dude got there, the Vikings got there. The Scandinavians. Yes. Leif Erikson. And, of course, Bjarne Narfelson. Yeah, we never really hear him. But we're going to learn about that, and they were there first. Although, unlike Columbus, they visited there, lived there a little while, and then went back and wrote about it, and that's it. People even thought they were lying, but or just making it up, because they make good stories up, right? The Vikings, like Thor, Loki, Odin. They make movies about these stories now. That's how good those stories were. But they thought they were stories, and then nothing really happened. When Columbus came, of course he didn't discover anything. Native Americans were already there. However, it did change the world, because that's when the Europeans and the Americans started interacting. And interacting is a nice way of saying it, that it was really almost a conquering, if not a conquering, and exploitation of the Americas. But it created the world that we live in, so it's really important. But this is also important because Columbus wasn't first. The Vikings were the first Europeans to explore America. All right, so let's look and let's read. Chapter 13. Let's turn north. The first Europeans to discover America came from the lands of the north, called Vikings, or Norsemen. They were the terror of Europe. Their ships were fast, their seamen brave and bloodthirsty. Thor, Odin, and Loki were some of the gods they worshipped. They sacrificed animals to those gods, and sometimes they even sacrificed humans. Vikings told stories of elves and giants and trolls, and believed they really existed. Norse stories are among the best you will ever read. Viking means sea raider or pirate, but not all Vikings were pirates. Most were farmers who kept cattle and sheep. Historians think that during the 9th and 10th centuries, their homelands in Scandinavia became crowded, so others looked for fair lands and good fishing. So Vikings set out for other places, and some sailed and searched for loot, but others looked for fair lands and good fishing. The first Viking ship arrived in America by mistake. Bjarne Jorfulson was a Norse sailor on his way to Greenland when the wind blew him off course. We think that was in the year 986. He went home and told his people what he had seen. One of his friends, Leif Erikson, decided to explore the new land. Leif was called Leif the Lucky and was the son of Eric the Red, a famous explorer who had discovered Greenland and had red hair. Eric was fierce. He had gone exploring because he was wanted by the law. But Leif, according to some old writings, was a fair-dealing man. Leif was big and strong and a great sailor. He followed Bjarne's route and landed in a place he named Vinland because it had wild vines. Vinland was probably Newfoundland, which is now part of Canada. The vines were most likely berry bushes, not grapevines as people once thought. Leif's brother, Thorvald, was the next Viking to come to America. He intended to stay. One day, while he was walking over the land looking for a place to settle, he spotted 3 mounds on the beach. They turned up to be 3 canoes. Under each canoe, 3 men were sleeping. They were Native Americans. So far, so good. Thorvald killed them all, except one who escaped. Yeah, not so good. The next day, a large party of Indian men came in canoes and attacked them with bows and arrows. Thorvald became the first white man to be killed by Indians. What if he had tried to make friends with the Indians? Do you think they would have made friends with him? Would history have been different? Thorfinn Karlsefni was a Viking who did settle in America, at least for a while. He was married to beautiful Ch.13. She was the widow, the wife of a man who has died, of another of Leif's brothers. Thorfinn and Gudrid came in 3 ships filled with cattle, sheep, and other Vikings. It must have been an adventure. Perhaps they felt as space explorers do today. They stayed for 3 years, and when they left, they took their son Snorri back home with them. How do we know all that? Historians have many ways of finding out about the past. Like detectives, they search for clues. They use tools to help them solve mysteries. Archaeology is one tool. Literature is another. Anthropology is another. Zoology is one more. Archaeology is the digging up science. Remember the mounds of the Hopewell Indians and the archaeologists? Well, in 1961, archaeological diggers found a Norse settlement on the northern coast of Newfoundland. It proved that Vikings once lived in America. The archaeologists dug up part of a spindle for spinning wool. That was a clue. Now they knew that women had lived in the settlement. Why would a spindle tell them that? The archaeologists found the remains of 8 Viking-style longhouses. From those remains, they could figure out exactly when people had lived in the settlement. Radiocarbon dating told them this is how it works. All living matter contains radioactive carbon-14. When a plant or animal dies, the carbon-14 starts to disappear. It disappears at a steady rate. And when we know exactly how fast, we know exactly how fast that happens. The amount of carbon left in an object tells us its age. Radiocarbon dating showed that the Viking houses were built soon after the year 1000. Sometimes archaeologists dig up old bones and bits of pottery. Those bones and the way they are buried can tell us much about the way people lived. We have found mammoth bones together with Indian bones and spearheads in North America. So we know Indians hunted mammoths. So far, we have not found Viking bones. Can you guess what old pieces of pottery might tell us? Literature helps with clues about history. Ancient documents found in Wales, which is part of Great Britain, tell that Prince Madoc of Wales in 1170 sent 10 ships sailing west. Some say the sailors settled in the land they found across the waters. Do you think it was America? A very old book, The Saga of the Greenlanders, relates the story of Bjarni and Leif and their voyages. It gives exact dates. The dates match the archaeological findings. Anthropology is the study of people and how they develop. Anthropologists study fossils and living people. They study history, languages, and the ways people live. Anthropology is very helpful in understanding the past. Zoology is the science of animal life. Can that help historians? You bet. When diggers found a strange sea snail in the Viking settlement, they gave it to zoologists to study. The zoologist said the snail was a native of Scandinavia. It had never been found in America before. They believe it must have come over as a hitchhiker when the damp bottom of a Viking ship. It was another clue to prove that the Vikings had been to America. Sometimes historical clues turn up in strange places. In 1957, a bookseller brought a book to Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. The book had been hand-copied in 1440 in Switzerland, in the days before the printing press was invented. A map in the book showed a place called Vinland and said it was discovered by Bjarni and Leif. Now we know there was a map of the New World before Columbus sailed. All right. There's some cool pictures, which you can, the Viking boats and things they've dug up. There's some of the pictures of the huts they found in Canada. All right, so now we know it was not Christopher Columbus, but Leif Erikson who first explored America for Europe. All right, well, have a great day, and we'll see you later. Bye.